Welcome to the Warsaw University of Technology, or WUT for short. This presentation will provide you with some guidelines about BSO and onboarding documents, followed by practical tips and external formalities, and finally, basic information regarding teaching and research. This presentation was created in December 2025, and the information it contains regarding external regulations was accurate at the time of its creation. Let's start with the onboarding documents and the Personnel Office, or Biuro Spraw Osobowych, usually called BSO for short. It's basically the Human Resources Department of the Warsaw University of Technology, WUT. The Personnel Office is a central administrative unit that keeps everything connected across the university. It handles HR matters for both academic and non-academic staff, and supports employees throughout their entire time at WUT, from their very first day of employment all the way to the end of their contract. If you ever need to reach the Personnel Office, you can find all the necessary contact details on the university's official website. Just check the BSO contact page. To start the hiring process, you'll need to provide documents confirming your professional qualifications, things like your graduate or doctoral diploma, or any other academic credentials. Remember, these documents must be translated into Polish. It's also important to make sure your diplomas are valid in Poland. Ask yourself, are your diplomas officially recognized in Poland? Does your country have an agreement with Poland about mutual recognition of education? Was your diploma issued by an institution from an EU, OECD, or EFTA country? If the answer to all of these is no, you'll need to complete a process called nostrification, which means formal recognition of your diploma in Poland. Now, let's move on to the entry and stay requirements in Poland. Citizens of third countries, that is, those coming from outside the European Union, the European Economic Area, or Switzerland, are required to have a valid passport and a document confirming their right to stay in Poland. This could be, for example, an EU blue card, a valid visa with the right to work, a temporary residence permit, also known as a residence card, or a stamp in the passport confirming that they have submitted a correct application for a temporary or permanent resident permit in Poland. As for EU citizens, if they stay in Poland for longer than 3 months, they are required to register their stay. All these documents go to the Personnel Office, together with the other paperwork prepared by your faculty or organizational unit. Depending on your situation, you might also need to provide employment certificates from previous jobs, disability or pension certificates, translated into Polish, birth certificates of children, and your marriage certificate, especially if you're relocating with your family. Make sure they're legalized or apostilled if required, and an international driving permit if you plan to drive in Poland. Who works at the university? At WUT, employees fall into 2 main groups under Polish law. 1. Academic teachers, which include teaching staff, who focus on classes and mentoring students or doctoral candidates, research staff, who mainly work on scientific projects and doctoral education, and research and teaching staff, who combine both roles. Academic positions include professor, profesor, university professor, profesor uczelni, assistant professor, adjunct, and assistant lecturer, assistant. 2. Non-academic staff, which covers administrative employees, librarians, technical and research staff, engineers, IT specialists, instructors, publishing staff, and many others who keep the university running smoothly. A quick note about work permits. Under the law on higher education and science, academic teachers don't need to get any special approval from the employment authority. That part's already taken care of. However, if you're a non-EU, EEA, or Swiss citizen working in a non-teaching position, for example, as a researcher, you'll need what's called a Type A work permit. The good news is that you don't have to handle that paperwork yourself. The Warsaw University of Technology will submit the application for you. That said, since the process for employers to obtain work permits can take quite a bit of time, it's really important to plan your employment start date well in advance. A few practical notes. Before signing your contract, you'll also need to complete a preliminary occupational health examination and attend an introductory occupational health and safety OHS training session organized by WUT. Someone from the university will reach out to you directly with all the necessary information. That was the key information about the personnel office and the essential steps for starting your employment at WUT. Now, some practical tips about coming to Poland from the Welcome Point. Welcome Point is part of the Center for International Cooperation of the Warsaw University of Technology and is dedicated to the international community of the university, to the international students, doctoral students, staff members, and guests. It is an important step in the WUT internationalization strategy. Welcome Point staff members Katarzyna Dirka and Marzena Pobejewska provide support mainly related to staying in Poland, such as temporary address, PESEL number, health insurance, opening a bank account, and legalization of stay, registration of residence. They also accompany international guests in everyday challenges that arise when they settle down in Poland, and they help them to get to know the Warsaw University of Technology better. The Welcome Point office is located in the WUT main building, on the ground floor, in room 86, so it's easy to find. It's open on weekdays, from Monday to Friday, except holidays. Before visiting the office, it is a good idea to schedule a meeting via email. Let's talk about administrative matters upon arrival in Poland. Temporary residence registration. In other words, the registration of your address of residence, in Polish meldunek and PESEL. This slide shows the application form. Remember to fill in this form in capital letters and in Polish, as the language of communication between you and the office is Polish. Non-EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens who are going to spend in Poland over 30 days have to register their temporary residence address within 4 days of their arrival. EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens who are going to spend in Poland over 90 days have to register their residence within 30 days of their arrival. The service is free of charge, and all formalities can be completed at one of the district offices in Warsaw, in Polish Urząd Dzielnicy. What do you need for meldunek? Passport or national ID card, EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens. Visa, non-EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens. Rental agreement or confirmation of accommodation in a WUT hall of residence, dormitory. A few notes. A. These documents must be in Polish or bilingual. B. The applicant must take both originals and copies of these documents to the office meeting, as the copies stay at the office and the originals the applicant will take with them. C. The certificate of accommodation from the dormitory can't be older than 1 month on the day of the applicant's visit to the district office. Temporary residence registration form, including confirmation of place of residence from the dormitory administration or landlord. There is no need to book an appointment. Go to the office, take a ticket from the ticket machine, and wait in line. If you register your residence in the district office of the City of Warsaw, you will automatically be assigned a PESEL number, which is a number in the Universal Electronic System for registration of the population. In other words, this is a personal identification number, which is very useful because it enables you to open a bank account, allows the doctor to give you an e-prescription or e-referral, checks if you are covered by NFZ if you need to go to the hospital or medical center. Remember, the registration of your address of residence, in Polish meldunek, in the district office of the City of Warsaw is not the same as the procedure of applying for a temporary residence permit in the Mazovian Voivodeship office. To receive remuneration under an employment contract, pay bills, or go shopping, you will need a bank account. To open it, please contact your bank of choice and ask for an English-speaking consultant, or visit one of the bank's branches. You must have legal residence for the entire period of your stay at WUT in Poland, so don't forget to legalize your stay. EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens shall register their residence, stay. Non-EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens shall apply for a temporary residence permit, Polish residence card. A piece of advice: do not procrastinate. The residence registration procedure applies to those EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens who plan to stay in Poland for more than 3 months, counting from the date of crossing the Polish border on the basis of a valid travel document or other valid document confirming their identity and citizenship. The deadline to apply for the Certificate of Residence registration at the Mazovian Voivodeship office, issued free of charge, is not later than on the last day following the end of the period of 3 months after the entry into the territory of the Republic of Poland. Non-EU, EEA, and Swiss citizens who entered the territory of the Republic of Poland based on a national visa or in a free visa regime shall apply for a temporary residence permit, Polish residence card, no later than on the last day of their legal stay in Poland. Applicants are required to submit an application, along with attachments appropriate to the purpose of their stay, and pay a stamp duty. Please note that the proceeding for obtaining a temporary residence permit takes time. Remember, the information provided here reflects the legal status at the time of its preparation. Due to dynamic changes in migration law, please check the current legal status on government websites of the Republic of Poland. The last part of the presentation will cover teaching and research at WUT. If teaching is a part of your contract, your coordinator is the person to talk to about your teaching workload. In general, you will probably be given flexibility in designing courses and schedules. However, any changes you decide to make should always be made before the academic year begins. In Poland, students are graded on the scale of 2.0 to 5.0, where 2.0 is a fail and 5.0 equals excellent. Polish academia extends the courtesy of an academic quadrant to both students and lecturers, which means your students could be 15 minutes late. Your main academic information system at WUT will be USOS Web. It provides access to your student lists, course information, syllabi, assignments, and grades. You can also check your class schedule and enter grades for your students. Login details are sent by WUT IT Center, CI, in the process of creating your digital presence as an employee, starting with your email. Although the vast majority of your classes will be taught face-to-face, on-site, the university provides you with an online teaching platform called Leon, with a designated empty course for each of your groups to be filled in with all the materials you want to share with your students. You use the same login details as for your WUT email account and activate each course through USOS Web. MS Teams is used as a communication tool at WUT, mainly for meetings and contact with students. It should not be used to upload materials or run assessments. Use Leon instead. And again, log in with your WUT email account. At WUT, research is at the heart of academic life. As a member of the research staff, you are expected to produce scientific results, typically in the form of journal articles, conference papers, or patents. Scientific mobility is strongly encouraged, participating in conferences, research visits, or joint projects with other institutions. Depending on your position, you may also look for funding opportunities, and the university provides full administrative support to help you with that. Your research record will be managed through WUT's Base of Knowledge, available at repo.pw.edu.pl. This system stores all your scientific achievements and is the main reference for your periodic evaluations, so please keep it updated. You'll receive your login details from the IT Center once your account is ready. Your personal profile in the Base of Knowledge integrates automatically with ORCID, Google Scholar, and Scopus. This makes it easier to maintain a complete and verified research record. If you experience any technical issues, simply contact the administrative staff responsible for the Base of Knowledge at your faculty. The WUT Library website provides information on publication benchmarks and bibliometric indicators. These resources help you choose the most suitable and highly ranked journals for your work. You can find the link to the library's page on screen. WUT has signed several transformative agreements with major publishers. This means you can publish your articles in open access in many leading journals without paying additional fees. You can find the link to the library's open access page on screen. The Project Management Center, known as COP, supports researchers in preparing grant proposals and managing funded projects. On the COP SharePoint, you'll find up-to-date information on funding opportunities, from internal programs like Mobility PW to national NCN grants, and international ones such as ERC grants. For more details, visit cop.pw.edu.pl. When you work in a multilingual environment, technical vocabulary can sometimes be tricky, especially if you're navigating Polish institutional terminology. To help with that, WUT provides an official online glossary of academic and administrative terms. It's a quick and reliable way to find the correct English translations used across the university. This is our university in a nutshell. Remember, if you have any questions, contact your faculty supervisor and then BSO or Welcome Point staff. They will be more than happy to help you. We are waiting for you at the Warsaw University of Technology.